And then I'll go back to sharing. Right. So yeah, once you've Googled MyLO UTAS, then you'll need to put in your student username, your student password, and you need your mobile with you so that you can get the access code. Like it'll actually text you a code to your phone, put that in, and then it should take you to this page. Now, this is the broader MyLO environment. It's not our MyLO page yet. And whatever units you're enrolled in, you'll be able to see them down here on this particular page. Now you can see I've got MyLO pages for days. I've got them 22, I've got them 2021, I've got them all the way back, and you can just toggle across to whichever semester you're looking for, or in this case, it'll be 2022 year that you're enrolled in. But I'll just show you, for instance, if I click on 2022 semester 1, you can see that this is a specifically semester 1 site. So it's only available under that toggle. So just remember that. Some are going to be year long, others are going to be semester based, and you can toggle across using that little thing at the top. So we'll go back to this one, 2022 year, and we will click on, we'll go to 406. Can I just ask how many folks online at the moment have actually had experience with university online settings before? Have many people done university courses and things?
Yeah, I have. I've just finished one, which I've emailed you about recently, Ange, but this is very, very different to the one I'm used to.
Okay, cool. So one person, anyone else?
Yeah, I just finished an undergrad certificate through Monash, and it's very similar to their website, the way it looks.
Awesome, that's great. So you'll have probably a better understanding than anyone. I think it's Peter, right?
Yeah, correct.
Great, great. Anyone else? Okay, awesome. Well, don't stress. It's once you get used to it and you've had a bit of a go at the site and things, it's actually quite simple to get through. I do get good feedback about my sites being quite easy, user-friendly, because I just get rid of all of the stuff that you don't need so that you're not clicking on anything you don't need to click on. So this is our, this is our unit site, our MyLO unit site for HSP 406. It is pretty much exactly the same setup for 405. So you can apply what I tell you now to that site as well, because again, I just get rid of anything you don't need and I try and make it as user-friendly as possible, and I put everything in the same place so that you don't have to go looking. So let's walk through the main bits. You can see right up front that here we've got a little thing that says unit outline. If I click on that, it will give you probably the most important document that you'll read related to your university study. It talks all about plagiarism and all sorts of other stuff. It talks about what your assignments are. It tells you how long they are, how much of a weight they have towards your final grade, all of that sort of thing. This is, without a doubt, one of the most important documents that you'll have for any unit that you're doing in your degree. So that's a really good thing to know about. Click on that link there and your unit outline's there. If it's not there, what do you think you should do, folks? Can anybody tell me? Just take a guess.
Email you.
Yep, exactly, because there's no one else that can put it up except for me. And it's a bit of a doozy trying to get it up. You actually have to upload it first and then it'll appear, and it has to have a certain name. Cripes. So yeah, no one else can make that work except for me. So email me and I can sort it for you.
Excuse me, Ange, it's Ali here. I'm listening in.
Hey.
And I might just like to remind people I have sent that unit outline for 406 and 405 to everybody before the preliminary date. So you'll have that in an email somewhere if you need to have a look at it.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes, you already have it there somewhere. If you don't want to click on that link, you don't have to. But if you lose it amongst a million emails that you've probably got like me, you can find it there too. Thanks, Sally. All right. So you can see if we just scroll down a little bit further, I've got a welcome announcement there. Anything that's really important, I will tell you by using those announcements. And I'll typically also email them to you so that you get an email copy. Now, if you haven't done already, please, 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 and yes, I am pleading here, forward your UTAS student email to your work email. It doesn't take very long, and it means that you won't have to check 2 email addresses. But I know it seems really, it's probably, you're probably thinking, oh, it's just going to waste my time. I'm too busy for that. But this is the way that we get in touch with you if there's something wrong with your assignment. It is so important that you just forward your email and then you don't have to think about it again. So announcements are there. And if they are really important, which sometimes they are, I will send you an email to let you know. So please make sure that you do that. I'll just scroll to the top and you can see this lovely little menu bar across the top here that says Unit Home, Content, Communication, Assessments, Grades, Groups, Class List. Now, I've only got access to the groups and the class lists and the grades, but Unit Home, Content, Communication and Assessments are pretty much the most important areas that you'll visit. So what I'm going to do is I'll click on Content. And this pretty much takes you to everything that you need in the MyLO site. You can see that when we click on content, we've got a lovely little left-hand menu. And then each of the menu items are highlighted here in this space on the right-hand side. So if we click on introduction, for instance, and you'll see it looks a tiny bit different for me as it does to you because I've got administration privileges and I can see how many things are uploaded and all of that sort of stuff. So you won't see those types of things. Now, I just want to check in now and say, has everybody got a MyLO site open in front of them right now that you can follow along with me? Has everybody got that? Just give me a shout out because unfortunately I can't see hands up because Teams won't let me do that. Stupid Teams, but anyway, it's important.
Yeah, there were a couple of thumbs ups. And I can tell you that. Yep.
Thanks, Sally. I really appreciate you chiming in for this. Thank you so much.
Good.
All right, if you haven't done already, go to Google now, get your MyLO UTAS page open, get your little code on your phone so that we can walk through this together because it's really important. I'm just going to stay silent for 1 minute while everybody does that because you should be able to do that in 1 minute. Fingers crossed.
Just before you start again, Ange, I had quite a few issues last year logging in with the system seeming to get confused between my Alison.Fulcher at police and Alison.Fulcher at UTAS. And I was advised by our IT department to go into the internet page, and the 3 dots at the right-hand side give me the option to click on New in Private Window. And for some reason, I do not understand why, that one was an easier one. It seemed to be no problems, no issues between Victoria Police and UTAS.
Okay.
Then, so for some people that might work.
That is a really good tip. That's a really good tip. I probably should put that on the MyLO site somewhere. So make sure about that, Ellie. I'm just going to make a note of that. All right. Okay. Okay, so I've managed to get the window open in front of me so I can see thumbs up. Has everybody now got MyLO site open in front of them? Thumbs up. couple of people. Nope, some people are still, yep, okay, Sean's got it. You can see names as well, this is great. Still having issues logging in. Okay, Tracy, that's all good. We won't, I'll wait a bit longer. Okay, great. Peter and Chloe are in. Okay, I can see a hand up.
Yeah, it's Chloe.
Do you have a question, Chloe? Go ahead.
No, absolutely not. I'm just playing around with the thing. Did I put it down? Did I put it down?
You did. Well done.
Oh, thanks. I
Thanks.
pass. Yay.
Extra credit. No, I'm joking. Catherine, do you have a question?
Sorry, Ange, I'm probably a little bit behind here. I'm coming back for my second unit and I don't have any new details for my login or anything like that, and I can't locate my password and username, so I'm at a bit of a standstill.
Okay, that's okay. You can just follow through and watch what I do, and then you'll be able to go through and yeah, you'll be able to watch the recording when you do get a chance to pull all that together.
Yeah.
But don't worry, it's a common experience. There's probably a couple of others there that are still trying to find those details as well. So if you haven't got your old password, it's really important that you probably need to change it, which is why you might not be able to get in. The new 3-factor authentication system where you ask for a text message as well as your username and password is actually really good, because I don't think you need to keep changing your password over and over, but you'll definitely need your username to be able to create a password and then set up that authentication system. It can be a little frustrating, but the best advice I can give you, and you can literally save the number in your mobile phone or whatever, is to have the IT help desk at the University of Tasmania in your mobile for things like this. If you're setting up the 3-factor, password change authentication system, give them a call. They can walk you through it in like 2 minutes. They are so great, and they're open quite early and quite late so that it balances out with shift work and things like that. So
Okay.
please give them a call if you're having any issues. They are extraordinarily helpful.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks,
I'll
Ange.
endorse that, Ange. I've found them great. Really
Yeah.
good to deal with.
Yeah, they're really, really great. Okay, I'm going to go back to my MyLO surfing. On this first page, so I'm just going to show you, you can click on introduction, for example, and you can see the introduction. We've got an acknowledgement of country video. We've got a welcome and introduction about the unit. You can see a link to the unit outline there again, because I'm really anally retentive and I like to make sure that you've definitely got one. And you can see information about textbook for your course. So I'll just show you what the welcome and introduction looks like. I've got another acknowledgement of country there. And then I have got a little blurb about me. Then there's a little lecture where you can see me talking about what this unit is about. I'll always have that there. It just gives you a little overview to say this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, all of that sort of jazz. Learning outcomes. There's a discussion board if you want to introduce yourself and say hello, and that actually takes you to that window. And then you've got some contact details there. And then what next? So that tells you how to click through the different sites on the MyLO site. You just click through using the little arrows, which are down here at the bottom corner. But pretty much every web page on MyLO will look something like that. And I'll show you a couple more. so that it sort of it helps set it in. But if you want to go back, you can toggle across using these lovely little breadcrumbs across the top of the page. Can everybody see that, those little blue breadcrumbs? So I can click back to introduction and it'll take me there. If you get lost, they should always be across the top of your page for you, regardless of what you click on. We've got a section called Police Academy Workshop Materials. So these are the things that we do in the assignment workshops. For 406, there's a large, almost a full day where Nick and I talk to you about all of the different things that we teach you, like strategic thinking, all of that sort of stuff. And we'll have those uploaded there in that section too. All right. We've also got learning activities. And I'll show you one of these very quickly. You'll see that we've got things about leadership, for instance, which is obviously very closely linked to this unit. But we've also got some stuff there about presentations for you. If you want to, if you haven't done a lot of presentations and you want to brush up on the different things that makes a really good presentation, you can go in there and have a little read of that as well. There's also stuff related to your assignments. So we've got a whole assignment which gets you to critically analyse a policy. And there's a whole section in there about learning about policy. So I'm just going to click on that one because it's a really good example of the types of things that I use to set up the page in MyLO for you. So we've got our learning outcomes at the top. We've got a short intro video that tells you what policy is. I'm sure you've all know a little bit about that, but it's a pretty useful little video. It's literally 4 minutes. Then we've got a lovely reading here by a person called Thomas Dye, and that actually tells you about the policy making process, so you can understand that a little bit better, and that will be important for the first parts of your assignment. Then we've got a really great little podcast by Paul, I think it's Carney or Carney, I'm not quite sure. I'm not really good with pronouncing people's names, but he's an expert on understanding public policy, and this podcast is really great for just giving you a little bit more of an understanding about how policy works and that policy cycle that we talked about before. He's also got a great book, and there's a reading there that I've picked. So I've not put the book up. I've just put one reading up that I think will help you best. I've read it, and I know it's going to be the best to support you. So that's how everything on this MyLO site is created. I always make sure I find the best possible things to support you, and I've done the work of getting rid of the faff. Okay. There's a great video here, and you can see this was a little while ago now when I had much shorter hair, but I spoke to Associate Professor Kate Crowley, who's an expert on analysing policy and understanding policy, and all of her research is focused on different types of policy, but particularly environmental policy in Australia. And I just actually went through a discussion with Kate, and I recorded it, a little 18-minute video about how you do policy analysis, and we walk through that process together, because quite frankly it's more exciting to listen to her talk about it than me bang on about it or reading more readings about it. So that's why I do little things like that. So there's a little interview there. She's also edited a really great book with Brian Head, and again I've picked a single reading that tells you about policy analysis there to give you a little bit more understanding. And that's it for the policy analysis part. But that's how I set it up, folks, so that you've got some readings, you've got some stuff to listen to, some stuff to watch. It just makes it a little bit more interesting, and that supports you that little bit more with your assignment. Now, if you've been in a policy role for a while and you've had a chance to analyse policy before, you probably don't even need to look at that, to be honest. It's just they're learning activities to support you and your learning and most importantly, to support the process of you doing the assignment, to make it easier for you. Does anyone have any questions about what I have just shown you there before I dive into the next bit?
Can I ask a question? It's Sean Halley.
Go ahead, Sean.
Because I'm I'll say tight wad, but I'm a tight ass. There's a couple of books there. Can we download them, or do we have to pay for them, or are they available in the library? What's the story with that?
Yeah, so everything is embedded in the MyLO site. So I'll show you, I'll just quickly go back into that one.
While you're looking for that, and I will just mention our library is awesome, and they have checked with us about resources that would be good for you. But apart from your essays and research around that, we don't require you to buy any books to help with the course. So yeah, use the library, and as Ange said, she's got resources for you there as well. So
I'll just quickly show you how this works. So I'll pop into the reading from Di, who, although it's 2008, is an absolutely excellent resource, and there really are a limited number of excellent resources on this. See this little blue link here? You just click it, because I've already gone to find it and I've downloaded it for you. Now, admittedly, this is sideways because I had to do a bit of a scan, but everything is there and available for you. So you can download that, and then you can just flip the pages yourself. You can print it out if you want to and highlight it all, but everything is there, and that's all about the policy making process in this particular instance. Does that answer your question, Sean?
Sure. I just tried to download that one from Jerry Ratcliffe, Reducing Crime. Is that available in the same way as well?
So that's a bit different, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment for you, because that is in fact a textbook. Yeah,
it is available in the library. I think our library has a few copies. They know that it's an important
few.
one.
They might need like 50.
I don't know if they've got that many.
There's a few different copies, a few different ways you can access it, that I will actually talk through that, because that's a really, really good resource for you to have. All right, and just one more thing on that. Hopefully you can see that here on this page that it's actually opened up that reading in a new window, so that you don't have to keep going back and forth within MyLO. It's really clunky and horrible. I've set everything so it opens in a new window and you can just immediately download it. All right, if any of those links are broken, what should you do? Who can tell me?
Email you.
Yep, exactly, because I am the goddess of the MyLO sites in all of the units. Just email me, I'll fix it. All righty. Let's go back to our table of contents. And you can see table of contents takes you right to the top, and you can scroll forever to find all of the things, or you can just do what I do and take the easy way out and go to the side. And it brings up only that bit on the side. So we're going to take a lovely little foray into assessment resources now, and I'm going to show you the stuff about where the assessment info is. But just one. I'm not going to go through all of them because this is not about assessment. It's just about MyLO. But you can see we've got a bit of information there at the top about the different things that you are going to do. And then we have, if we scroll down here, we've got some more stuff up here, and then we've got some other helpful stuff. So yeah, if you can see at the side here, assessment resources, if you can imagine that's the umbrella for the assessment, right? And this is the umbrella link, okay? And then underneath the umbrella, we've got all of the little parts about assessments hanging off the umbrella. And that's if we, this is our umbrella here, but this is the parts of the umbrella. Leadership vision. And if you click on that, it takes you just to the page on the leadership vision alone. All right. So I'm going to go back to the full umbrella, which is the assessment resources. And you can see that I have got dates for assignment tutorials here. With the dates are there for you, and it tells you that we're using Teams. It tells you that these are not compulsory and that I'll record them, and then I'll upload them on the MyLO site for you when I'm done. So if we go back up, we go back to our assessment resources. We've also got the tutorial recordings. So when I've done the recordings for the tutorial, it'll be there for you. But you can see I haven't done a tute yet, so it won't be there yet. And in fact, I'm pretty sure Nick's doing all the tutes this semester. So when it's done, he downloads the recording, he pops it up there for you, and you'll be able to go in and watch it. If you can't get to the tutorial, you can watch it and then send us your questions in an email. I'll go back to assessment resources. It's got a great little web page there from the Police Academy Library. Jacinta, her presentation. It's got the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation there, and it's got a help sheet there. So let me just show you how this works. I can click on the link, and there it is. The PowerPoint presentation that Jacinta used is right there for you to download. Okie dokie. So I'll go back out to assessment resources. Again, we're still in the umbrella. We've got a thing there on how to find your feedback, requesting an extension. This is my guide, but you can't see that. See how it says hidden? Isn't that great? It's because I have to go look through and actually learn how to use all this stuff too. It's all very new, and I'm really hoping that it all works. So that's our assessment resources umbrella. Now let's go into one of the parts of the umbrella, and we'll just pop into the leadership vision. Now I've got a bunch of stuff here about the leadership vision. You can see I've got the assignment information. So this is where you find your assignment information about your assignment is in these little parts of the umbrella over the side here. Assignment task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of those are there for you. And you click on this link and it takes you to a web page that I've designed to tell you all about the information related to that assignment. All right. Is everybody keeping up with this? I'm so sorry, folks. I've literally just got a message from my kid asking me to send him some money because he's in the city on the train. I just have to quickly transfer some money to him. Is everybody following me though? Could you give me a thumbs up so I know that you're still there and you're totally following me? We're all good. I've got a couple of thumbs up there. I can't see many thumbs up. Does everybody know how to do thumbs up?
They've been up and down a wee bit, so.
Okay.
I just can't see who they all are.
Awesome. I'm so sorry, folks. Unfortunately, I am the only financial provider for my child, and if I don't do this, he will starve. All right. Done.
I've got a question for you, Ange.
Yes, go ahead, Ali.
And it's probably just a corny, silly sort of question, but you've talked about assessments, you've talked about assignments, and the two main ones for the university are the essays. During the 5-day course, I talk about assessments, but you talk about them as hurdle tasks. And sometimes those words are getting a bit, in my head, getting a bit confused. So the assessments for the university are the 2 essays. The assessments for Victoria Police during the 5-day course are hurdle tasks.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
And in fact, there's a little reminder about that just out here. If we go here, we can see in assessment resources that umbrella spot, there it is. Leadership vision submitted to MyLO, stakeholder engagement stuff, hurdle task submitted and marked by Police Academy staff. Okay, so that's that stuff's there. And when you go into look at the PowerPoint slides that I use for the workshops, that information will be in there for you too. Thanks, Ali. That's a really great tip. All right, now I've fed and watered my kid. Let's move along to looking at the page for the leadership vision. Now, right at the top, again, you can see the little breadcrumbs here. Table of contents, assessment resources, and that's our umbrella. And this is our little prong on the umbrella. There's the leadership vision. We've got a nice table here that tells you what the task is. Task description. We've got a length. And then we've got the learning outcomes. We keep going. We've got some assessment criteria. And you do have to scroll a bit on these pages. Unfortunately, I can't make different pages and make it look all cool for you or put it on the same page. You just have to keep scrolling to get everything you need. But that's okay. It tells you where and when to submit. Submit to the MyLO folder under Assessments tab by midnight of the due date. Very easy. It contributes to 50% of your overall mark for the unit. And you can see here, as a semester 1 student, for instance, it's due on Friday, the 8th of April. And if you can't get to that date, I'm going to show you where you can apply for an extension. It's pretty easy. Okay, so if we keep going down, I've got a suggested structure, and I'll always have that for assignments that you do with the university. And you can see I've got some dot points here about what you can think to do your leadership vision. We've got some general tips for the task. If we keep going down, we've got a mini lecture of me looking really doofy here, talking about the leadership vision. And this is where I talk about it in quite extended detail. I give you lots of tips, tell you how to approach it, all of that sort of stuff. So do get on there and have a listen to those because they're really important. Then we've got the marking rubric. And again, if I click on this, it opens a lovely little page there for you. So you can see the rubric before you hand in your assignment, and you can use that as a checklist for what you have to do. And if we keep going, scrolling, we've got the fantastic Victoria Police Language and Writing Guide. Again, I've put that into the MyLO site for you so you don't have to think. And again, probably because I'm a little bit only retentive about this stuff, and I really don't like you guys wasting your very valuable and precious time, I've gone through the internet and I've found the best blogs online that talk about what a leadership vision is, that talk about leadership in law enforcement. And again, I have just got written all of the faff. So you can go here, you can click on these links, and you can find some really great short readings about what leadership visions are, what leadership philosophies are, you know, how you can think about it yourself and reflect on all of that sort of stuff. And again, if those links aren't working, you just need to email me. Then there's some questions and a whole bunch of examples of leadership visions that have been done by previous students. The reason we've got so many is because there's so many different ways that people approach this, and all of these are equally good. There is no set in stone way for you to approach it. And I really wanted to showcase how different people can just approach it from different ways. And yeah, don't spend all your days, you know, reading them all, but it'll give you a really good sense of what good paragraphs look like, how people started it, how people finished it, what their reference list looks like. All of that jazz is in there for you. And I'm just going to open one of them so that you can have a look. See, there we go. You can see this person's got a great introduction, and then they talk about ethical leadership in a little bit more detail. What values shape their leadership? Well-known leaders. What the future of leadership for them looks like. And then how they're going to achieve it, and this is a really excellent example, conclusion, and some fabulous references listed at the end there. And that is great. That is a really, really great example. All of my examples are very good. I don't pick shit examples for you because I think it's a waste of your time to read shit. So I've picked some good ones for you. All right, so you have to scroll a bit, but there is some really great stuff up there for you so that it makes this assignment easier for you to do. And I've got stuff like that for all of your assignments. You'll see for the ones at the Academy, I have a link there, but it's very limited information. It's just a little table because you will get the rest of the information about those assignments that you do at the Police Academy during your course at the Police Academy. All right?
Yep.
So all that info will be there for you and you'll get heaps more information about it. But this is just to tell you how these fit in with the other things that you're doing in your course. Okay. And again, I'll just quickly click on this one and you can see, again, we've got a similar type of setup, assignment information at the top. And then we've got some core readings, exactly the same as we do for the leadership vision. I'm just going to click on that one. You'll probably recognise this from before where I had it in the learning activities. How do you analyse policy? You click that and it opens up the book, the reading. And this is actually an ebook. And there's quite a few ebooks online that help you think about policy. And I've put quite a few readings here for you that you can link to. So let's just quickly link on that just to show you. This is going into an ebook. So it's a special database where they put electronic books and you can actually read that paper right there in that ebook for you. All right. So that's how the core readings are set up. It's really quite simple. It just gives you a little bit of information to read and you'll see things like this. So we've got core readings 1, 2 and 3 and we've got core skills. If you're wondering how to do critical analysis or argument, I've put some extra stuff up there for you so that you can learn about that a little bit more. Or if you've done that before, like if you've done a master's thesis, you probably don't need to worry about going into this. This stuff is just there to support you if you are feeling a bit lost with anything you need to do. So there's stuff there about critical thinking. There's a lecture with me when I could actually dye my hair and it wouldn't fall out. I can't do that anymore. So there's a lecture of me talking about what critical analysis is. And there's some stuff there about academic argument. And you can see that video has been made unavailable. And I need to fix that link. Academic arguments. I will go and fix that. Apologies, folks. I did not know that that had disappeared in the last couple of days. And there's another one about how to write an academic argument. So that's just skill stuff that helps you with the writing of your assignment. Okay, it's just an extra support for you. All right. Let's go back.
I've just got to chip it. Can I chip in again? And
Go
just
for it,
listen to
Ali.
this.
Yep.
I mean, your focus on, for example, these skills is very much about writing, being able to write the essays. But just listening to you, that is like critical thinking is what we need to be able to do in our work. For middle managers,
Yep.
need to be able to think in that way, big picture thinking, all those kind of things. So if members can also use those skills and extrapolate them into their work day rather than just writing an essay, that's very useful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So all of this stuff has been provided to just provide you with those additional skills. Okie dokie. So I think we've done enough on the on the little umbrella parts that are underneath the umbrella of assessment resources. And I just thought I'd show you. This is a little video that we've created to help you see how to actually forward your student UTAS email to your work email. That's there for you. It's just a video that shows you exactly how to do it. So you can access that at any time you need to, really. I'll go back out here. I'll show you one more bit of this MyLO site before I show you the bits up the top, and then we will finish up. So this is get in touch. So if you need to get in touch with me at any time, that's my email address, my mobile phone number, because my electronic phone that I get through work, it just works on and off. And oftentimes I'll be sitting at the back of the course and I won't be able to answer anyway. So yeah, so if you need to get in touch with me, these are the best ways. And please feel free to text if it's easier for you to do that. Just make sure you tell me who you are because I haven't got all your phone numbers saved in my phone, obviously. All right, before I show you these lovely little bits up the top, are there any questions? No questions?
Yeah, I've got one. Sorry.
Go for it, Bridget.
It's actually about a further step back. The enrolment in whether you're semester 1 or I find that part very confusing about where we're meant to be getting into the railroad track for our due dates.
Yeah, so with enrolling in the different parts of it, I would highly recommend that you get in touch with people at enrolments. They've been so awesomely helpful. At the moment, we're in semester 1, so you need to pick the anything that says semester 1. You just pop that in. And I think, Ali, that everyone gets information from the police academy about which unit that you're doing. So whether or not you're doing 406 or 405, that's right. And so once you go through the enrolment bit, then you'll be able to pick the unit that you need and the actual semester that you're in. But what I'm going to do, just very, very quickly, is I'm going to find Ajaya's email address for you because she's super, super helpful. And I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to put it in the chat box. I would actually like to make sure that I've got this information on the MyLO site, but I haven't been able to do that myself yet and include that type of information because I've just been flat out doing other stuff. But there is Ajaya's email. The other person that's been helping heaps and doing an absolutely awesome job is Jenny. Jenny, I'm just about to grab her email address and I'm popping that into the chat box now too. There we go. Does that help, Bridget?
Yeah, it does. Thanks very much.
That's all right. Now, these folks are awesome because they'll talk to you on the phone while you're doing it on your computer, or they'll set up a Teams meeting with you and actually go through it on the computer with you. They are so amazing, worth their weight in gold. Definitely get in touch and they'll do that for you as soon as possible if you haven't been able to get through that process. So make sure you get in touch with them ASAP because they're just amazing. Any other questions, folks, about any of that?
I'm aware it's Friday afternoon. Sean Halley again. Just a quick question about the timing of the week face-to-face sessions.
Yeah.
So mine's in May. The essay's due in April. Does that have any effect on the ability to shape the essay?
No, I really don't think so. I've created this assignment, this leadership vision assignment, to be about you. So you can actually get online, read some of those blogs, start reading about leadership theories. You can read great biographies of great leaders, and it will help with this assignment. So you can do all of that sort of stuff before you get into the course, and fully write your leadership vision assignment before you get there, and it will be perfectly fine. Having said that, if you feel uncomfortable about it and you just want to get an extension on that assignment so that you can do the course first, I'm happy for you to do that too. You just need to apply for an extension, and I'm about to walk you through that process and show you where that is now.
Thank you very much. Absolutely. Thanks.
That's good to know, Ange. Just thinking about the 5 days, there might be some discussions, some presentations that will spark an idea for members.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe it's not actually designed to do that. The other thing is the opportunity to network with colleagues that can help if you want to all talk about the essay.
Yep.
But can I just add too that when you get an extension, because Ange is generous with that, and last year the submission dates were quite late, and everyone left it till like the 31st of December to submit their essays. So having an extension isn't always a positive. It will just be hanging over your head rather than getting it done. So, but we're here to help if we can.
Awesome. Thanks, Ali. Just something I will mention before I forget, because I forgot to mention it before, is the textbook. I'm just going to click on this. Now, we do have a textbook for this course, and it's for the course overall. It's not just for this unit. So you can apply this book pretty much to anything you do in this course. And most importantly, you can also apply it to your jobs, which is why I absolutely love this book. So it's called Reducing Crime. I made sure I picked a book that was cheap, and that's one of the other reasons why he's written it like this, because you know, we don't want to be spending hundreds of dollars like you do with the psychology or law textbook, which oftentimes are just hideously expensive. So you can actually get a copy of this book from Booktopia. You can get a physical copy of it, have it on your shelf. You can also get it as an audiobook. Can you see there? There's a link to buying it as an audiobook, and you can listen to it in your car while you're commuting back and forth to work, or on the bus or train or whatever. It's also available as an ebook. I'm pretty sure Ali said there's some copies in the library. I'm pretty sure we've got copies in our UTAS library as well, but that's going to be harder to get. I'm just not sure if there's an ebook there yet or not. I'm actually going to check that, and I'll let you all know. But I thought I'd let you know that's our textbook. We will talk about it a little bit in the face-to-face course. But if you want to get a hold of it, there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can grab it. And Peter, I can see that you got your copy from Book Depository. Can I ask how much it cost? Because I actually really don't remember. But
that's a great question, and I don't remember either, but it wasn't that expensive, and I figured I can claim it on tax because it's for work purposes. So
I've literally just ordered mine through Booktopia, and it was $70.
Oh, right. All right. That's not too
That's including delivery.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. Thank you for that, Tony. I appreciate you letting me know. All right, cool. So that's our textbook. If we go back up, I'm going to show you these bits at the top now, and we're going to fairly well whiz through this next bit. So make sure you're following. So communication, if I've got that lovely little down arrow there, this takes you to any announcements that I put up on the MyLO side. So I'll just quickly skip there, and you can see that's my welcome announcement right there on the front of the page. If we go back in there, you can also see that this is where our discussions are. And if you want, you can go into the welcome discussions, and you can post a thread there and introduce yourself to everybody. But that is not required. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's just if you want to get to know people. All right. The next one is very important. So if you've got a pen, make sure you're writing this down, because it's so important. There's a lot of people, and even me, when I first started learning MyLO and trying to understand how it worked, I thought that this was where you had the information for the assignment, but it's not, because I've just showed you where that is. That's in content, remember? This is where you upload your assignment to the MyLO site. So we click on this little down arrow and it's got this lovely little thing here called assignments. And you click on it. And again, it looks totally different for me, but it will look similar, different for you. But this is so important that you can see this, because this is where your extension requests are. You can go in here and you can, I'm not going to do that because it'll ask me to edit the folder because I can't upload an assignment. But you can go in here and it takes you through a nice little stepped process to upload your assignment. Very important point. You can upload it as many times as you want. So if you can see that you've got a high Turnitin score, you can go, you can fix it up and try and address that, and you can re-upload it. I have told my markers to always mark the latest version of your uploaded assignment. So you can upload 18 copies. It won't make any difference to us. We'll always mark the most recent one. All right. So just letting you know about that. But that's where you upload your assignment. When you go up the top, you click that down arrow, you click on assignments, and it brings you to your folder to upload. And most importantly, you can, again, I can't click on this because it's going to be like an editing thing for me, but you can request an extension there in that folder on your first assignment, or you can request an extension on your last assignment, which is technically task 5. Okay, so all of that stuff is there for you. I'm just going to quickly go out here, and I'm trying to remember where the extension bit was in here, or if it was somewhere else. Nope, it's not in there. So apologies, folks. I'm not very good at remembering where stuff gets put, but I'm just trying to make sure that I show you where the link to the, here it is. So do you remember our assignment umbrella is called Assessment Resources? You've got a link here, and if you click on it, it shows you how to request an extension. It's got all the information there for you. And then again, you just need to go into that assignments thing, click on that little down arrow, and you can upload your extension request there. All right. So everything is there for you. And I do believe we may be finished. I think I have told you all of the things that you need to know about MyLO and where stuff is. Are there any questions, folks? Yes, I haven't missed anything. No worries, Peter. I'm really glad it was helpful. Anyone else got any questions? We've still got a few minutes to go. If you've got any questions, please feel free to shout out, because now's your time. No questions are stupid questions. Give your puppies and cats an extra treat for behaving. I will. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Chloe. I'm very glad, because I do have 3 dogs and 2 cats, and it can be quite an interesting little process. I actually I had a focus group that I was running down in Tasmania, and I was doing it all online because we're in the middle of COVID, and my psychotic nitwit of a kitten threw himself at the door so hard that you can hear it in the focus group recording, and everyone asked me if I was okay or if I was hit with something. He actually completely severed one of his teeth on the door. So I'm very glad that they were good today, because we've had lots of moments where they're very not good. Bloody toads. Any questions?
And thanks. Look, even I've learned, and I've gone in and out the MyLO site enough for the kind of things that I'm after, but I've seen things today that I didn't know were there. So that's been helpful for me as well, actually.
Fantastic. Yeah. See you later, Sean. I'm really glad to hear that. Was that helpful, everyone? Did you get something out of that?
Thanks, Ange.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Awesome. No worries at all. All right. Well, you've got an extra 2 minutes in your day, so go and check your email or whatever else you need to do. But have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you all in class very soon. Later, folks.
Thanks, Ange. Hey, Ange, can you just hang on for another couple of minutes?
I sure can.
Just a question that cropped up when I was looking at the resources, and you described the 3 hurdle tasks and stakeholder